Councilman Hollier. Here. Councilwoman Tice.
Here.
Mayor Bailey.
Here.
Councilmember McGrady.
Here.
Councilmember Bourne.
Here. Thank
All
you, sir.
present, Mayor.
I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's meeting. First item on the meeting will be the approval of the minutes of the May 13, 2019 regular city council meeting.
Mayor, I move we approve the minutes as written for the May 13th, 2019 City Council meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the approval of the meeting dating May 13, 2019. Are there any questions or comments over the written minutes? Mayor votes aye. Councilmember Baden? Aye. Councilmember Bourne?
Aye.
Councilmember Hollier? Mayor Pro Tem Tice?
Aye.
For the approval of the minutes as written May 13, 2019, regular city council meeting. Are there any citizen comments or reports? Please state your name and your address, please.
Shall I stay right here?
Yeah, just stand up here.
My name is Chris Weber. I own multiple property in Groves. We have a real estate company, and I want to say thank you to all the council members for everything y'all really do. All I hear is negative things. The last 2 years, all I've heard was negative through Facebook. That's what I call it now. And everybody here, I know everybody here personally, except. And y'all been great with us and our investors. We own close to 70 houses in Groves. And y'all been really good with us on everything that we've done. And I want, everybody to know that, it's always negative. Every time people hear it, it's negative, negative. I want positive. Every time I post something positive on Facebook, it gets deleted or destroyed. And I want to come personally and tell y'all, my group of investors want to thank y'all for everything y'all do. Y'all don't get paid enough money to hear complaints every time y'all go to Bruce's or go out to eat. Y'all hear it all the time. And I want to say thank you for me and my investors. And we're going to continue to do business with Groves, because I've dealt with Nederland and Port Neches and Arthur and Beaumont and Vider, and the city councils are not the same. Y'all are way better. Way better. I get, so I just want to come say thank y'all, and, and all the, I just want to say positive things instead of negative all the time. I get private messages from people on Facebook. I don't even know these people. Private message on my phone. Why are you from Sean S. Kangagi? Why are you such a bitch ass hoe? That's what I get. I get this. Why do I get this? Because I told the truth about something? Why is this happening?
And I get letters in the mail too.
This, from me?
No, from
see?
Kyle Hollier.
Well, okay, but you, oh, that's you.
Yeah, it's me.
Okay, bitch ass hoe. Okay, well, I
Because you sent me a message
Hey,
first.
Sean.
You sent me a message
I wanna
first.
tell you, thank you.
You sent me a
Out of order.
message first.
And
Thank
I'll
you.
get you kicked out of here.
Thank you and everything. But I want to go on record to all the council members, thank you very much. And I want to tell everybody in this room, including Sean S. Cargogi, whatever his name is, that I'm not a bitch ass hoe. Thank you.
And going forward, I know last meeting or a couple meetings I've been out, I apologize, but I think some meetings got a little pointed at people. And that's not going to happen again. It's in our decorum. You'll be asked once to refrain from it. The second time you'll be asked to leave. And it'll be at my discretion if I want to let you back in ever again. Okay? We clear on that? Mayor Pro Tem, is you let it get out of hand. I read the minutes. So we've got to put all you guys deserve respect. Okay? And we can't give respect if we're not getting it. So from this point forward, we have a decorum. If anybody wants to go over it with me, I have it copied. I'll be glad to get your copy. We're above that. Everybody here is above that. And I got to agree with Chris on that. And from the camera point of view, we're going to start moving the cameras to either of the corners. We'll get a memo out for you guys. They don't need to be sitting up here blocking the views of everybody here. That's fine over there, but you're going to have to move to the back. We'll make that in our decorum. And we'll address that at our next meeting. Any other citizen comments or questions? Item 5 will be 5A, public meeting for the Consumer Confidence Report. Our Chief Water Operator, Mr. David Moulton.
This is our annual report that we have to have done, and it's basically goes over everything for 2018. We have no violations. It's basically everything we do monthly, quarterly, and I'm just here for, anybody has any questions about anything.
David, you know,
I have copies. if
you mean you talked, I don't know, a month ago or so about the issue of the reservoir?
Yes.
And I know you were going to use a trash pump to do some circulation. Is that all gotten
Yeah,
better?
everything has gotten better with all that, and we're gonna, in July, we're fixing to start our, going from chloramines to free chlorine. So there's gonna be a little disruption. We're gonna post it,
Okay.
and let everybody know what's going on and everything.
Okay.
So basically, everything, I'm old school, but everything is online nowadays. And that's just like, everybody used to get these in the mail, and they would throw them in the trash.
$5,000.
$6,000.
Yeah, $6,000.
Now we put them online, they're on the water bill every month, so you can look on the water bill, punch in them exact numbers, and you can go straight to it, read it, anything about the city, about any kind of violations or anything. But I do have a few copies that I made, if anybody wants to see them. I think y'all all have a copy of it. But there was no violations last year and nothing really big to speak of,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, any questions for David?
Done a good job, Dave.
Thank you,
All right.
David. Appreciate
Thank
it. Item 6A would be the discussion and consideration of taking action to make improvements to the Huntsman Park property in conjunction with the Fort Nature's Groves Youth Football Association.
Mayor and Council, let me give you some background here, and I think we're going back almost 10 years to when we sold a portion of Lindenmeyer Park. And the proceeds from that portion of selling Lindenmeyer Park have been set aside in a special account. And the law requires that we replace the features that we sell in the park property. And we will be selling the last of the park property probably this summer, if not later on this year. And that will eliminate the 2 softball fields that are there. And we've made arrangements with Huntsman. They've generously donated 30 acres to the city. We've subleased 15 of that, or 16 of that, to P&G YFA, and we've kept 15 for extra features and a place to put the softball fields. P&G YFA is getting ready to pull the trigger, and they're going to start spending some money. They've got a contractor and a quote of $165,000 to shape the entire 31 acres. And the portion that we're concerned about is the area based where the softball fields would be. And I'd like council's permission to go ahead and spend some of the money that is in the special account to pay for the city's portion of the softball field and the clearing of the property and the drainage and things of that nature. And it'll be done in phases, and we'll come back and bring the council up to speed on where everything's at. So in essence, I'd like permission to spend up to $40,000 in conjunction with the P&G YFA in order to start the grade work and the clearing of that property for the city of Groves and for the softball fields that we'll have to move there shortly.
So you want to make them a comment to, that'll be phase 1 of the youth football?
Phase 1, and I will, and everything will go on the invoice approval list. Whatever we spend I'll go on the invoice approval list.
Well, we need a motion before we discuss it. I move we approve the Huntsman Park Phase 1 Youth Football Association's improvements.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second to make improvements to the Huntsman Park property in conjunction with the Fort Nature's Groves Youth Football Association, up to $40,000 for phase 1. Are there any?
Question?
Yes, sir.
The land that we've sold, do you have a ballpark figure about how much was put in that account to begin with?
Yes, sir, $175,000 is
Okay,
what's in that
we've
account.
spent how much on the Memorial Park?
Well, the Memorial Park actually was not, Memorial Park was improvements.
That's what
So
I meant.
that was budgeted with tax dollars.
Oh, okay, that wasn't part of that?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay.
That money is reserved for putting things back into play that we took out of, or that we lost
Okay.
when we got sold portions of Lindenmeyer
So
Park.
we've spent substantial
We've
money in
spent-
our parks?
Yes, we spent probably in the neighborhood of about $80,000 on Memorial Park.
With more coming?
Well, we got a new budget coming up, and we've got more money set aside or budgeted for some other park improvements.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Do we have a total estimated for all the improvements to be made for this, the full, all phases of the,
$165,000.
is for the softball fields, the
It's
park
for,
area?
it's for
the
clearing,
green,
it's for
everything?
grading, and it's for shaping the fields is $165,000. With the bulk of that being the football fields, and we'll just pay for the portion that we use for the softball fields. And then we will be running the water and sewer, and basically they'll be, putting, the P&G YFA will be putting in their concession stand, their bathrooms and things like that on a phase basis.
Okay,
So
so they're going
just-
to do that. What about the park to finish the softball fields and whatever you're going to replace?
What's the
from
city's
selling of the
portion?
land?
The city's
What is the
portion-
city's portion of the total project is estimated at?
Estimated, I would say that it wouldn't be much more than 60,000 for everything.
So these are not lighted fields?
No, they're not lighted fields.
Are they going to have full fencing?
Not at this time. We're just basically getting them shaped out and just basically ready to.
Because I know how much it costs to put in a softball field, and 60,000 isn't
He's
near enough.
asking to finish the softball field.
Finish off the field. I'd have to get the, this is just gonna basically.
You don't
Right, that's basically-
you don't have enough in that account to build 2 softball fields,
Okay.
I promise you.
Okay. Well, I'm not saying we can't, but we're hoping to be
It's a
able.
start.
Yeah, I understand.
And we're limited, Chris.
I understand
what we
that.
can
I understand that,
Spend that
but
money on.
You don't want to go 2/3 into the project and realize you're way over budgeting.
No, the
So-
park,
So if you're just going to shape it for the 40 grand and then maybe somewhere down the line we find some more money
Yeah.
to fully
Well,
finish it. that's
actually,
fine, I
we still
understand.
have, even with 40 grand, we still have $135,000 left. So I just want to make sure the council knows that we're doing this in a piecemeal because I don't want to get ahead of P&G YFA and they don't want to get ahead of us.
Understand.
we, with the 175,000 can't be spent just on that.
175,000 is earmarked for improvements to replace things that no longer are in the in Lindenmeyer Park. For example, the baseball fields, okay, softball fields,
Or if we want to do tennis courts.
or tennis courts.
Or whatever. It has to go back towards a park type, either park improvement or a new park.
I thought it was also to upgrade, it could be used to upgrade the parks that we have. Not only to replace, but to improve.
Well, we haven't done that yet because we were able to budget enough money to take care of that and leave this set aside. I'll tell you what, I will get with the city attorney tomorrow and find out if there's any wiggle room there in the event that we want to do something else with that money on the park system.
Yeah, on the existing parks,
System,
upgrade,
yeah.
yes.
Question, please.
Yes.
Is there any area that could get us off track on the fact that we don't own that property and it's not in Groves? Our money's it's gonna qualify okay?
Yeah, there's no problem there. We've got a long-term lease and it's renewable every 10 years, and the soccer fields have been there over 20 years. So I feel pretty comfortable that Huntsman has made a commitment to our youth and that they're going to basically, as long as we develop it and maintain it, and take care of it, it should be there in perpetuity.
Okay, as long as our legal
Yeah.
part of it's good.
Yeah.
Any other questions on that? Mayor votes aye. Councilmember Baden.
Aye.
Councilmember Vaughn.
Aye.
Councilmember Hoyer.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Tice.
Aye.
For the approval to not to exceed $40,000 phase 1 of the improvements to the Huntsman Park property in conjunction with the Fort Nature's Groves Youth Football Association. Item 6B will be consider approval to amend the City of Groves wage and classification plan to create a police cadet position.
Mayor and Council, Marshall Reynolds is here, and he's going to make that presentation to the council.
Mayor, council members, my recommendation tonight is that we adopt a sponsorship program for police cadets, or potentially do so anyway. We've never done it before in the past. We've always hired officers who had at least 2 years experience. More recently, we've been hiring officers who have been through the academy, and we've been training ourselves over the last few years too. So this would be something new for us. I'll be honest with you, I've been the marshal for 4.5 years. I've only had one person that I probably would have liked to have had that opportunity with, He's somebody that kind of has been holding out until the meeting here. He's since decided he wants to go to another agency, so I don't have him online anymore anyway, but I don't necessarily think that this is the remedy for our recruitment woes. I just think that it's another tool, an option that if, somebody comes along that I have that confidence in, that, that we would be able to sponsor them and put them through the police academy. Like I said, I hadn't been flooded with, people that were interested, that I would be interested in. What we're trying to do is trying to hire people who aren't potential problems, people who have had problems in other agencies. That seems to be what I'm getting a lot of, people who have been run off or had to leave agencies because of their misconduct or their behavior. So I don't want to hire somebody just to fill this position. And I hadn't done that, and that's not something I intend to do. But on the other hand, you mentioned that, as you know, Nederland Police Department has already started doing this just recently. And I was talking to Chief Porter the other day, and surprisingly, he had 30 applicants out of, advertising that they were willing to send them to the academy. He had 14 people that he tested, and I think he said he felt like he had a good 5 out of those that were hireable. So maybe it will be a better opportunity than I can imagine. But right now, the police academies are lasting 19 and a half weeks. And for a young man or woman who's sponsoring themselves, it costs them $4,500 to $5,000 out of their pocket. Now, for us, though, if we were to sponsor them at the city, it only cost us $700 because the Southeast Texas Regional Planning and Zoning Committee, they pick up the balance of that. So that's what it would cost us.
So City Marshal, so we get a cadet, you get a cadet. We pay the $700. They finish the course. Their pay goes to $25.72 first step.
Right.
Are they obligated to? Do we have anything saying, okay, if you're here 3 months and you leave?
Well, over the years, the agencies
if we're going to invest in them, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Who have done this, they have, and you've had some in the past too. I just thought of I think Beaumont PD and Port Arthur at one time, they gave incentives, $4,000 or $5,000, whatever, to sign on. But they would make them sign a contract for these things, like a 2-year contract, and so that we'd be able to, get our investment back.
Right.
And so yes, we do plan on doing that, adopting a contract.
Yeah. Whatever that is, 6-month, year, whatever it is, but just to have some skin in the game, so they just don't. We rotate them in and out.
Right. No, we don't want to be the training ground for somebody else.
Exactly.
And our pay we were looking at is would be $17.50 an hour while they're going through the academy. That's kind of the average of what everybody's paid. So $17.50 an hour without benefits or anything. Of course, we go through the same process of background and everything, just like we would a police officer. So.
Do they work while they're going through the academy?
No, they
So you're just paying them to go to school?
Just paying them to go to school for 40 hours a week, right. Which is what Beaumont, Port Arthur has always done.
Is that in addition to the $700?
The $17.50? Correct.
$700.
Yes. The $700 is going to be for...
Entrance into the class.
Yeah, basically the class.
And then $17.50 an hour for 40 hours a week for the 19.
Right. There may be a few more incidentals, PT clothing or something like that.
Right.
But that's basically it. The academy, what they do whenever when you attend the academy, they furnish the gun and the holster and just about everything, but the PT clothing and all. So I think the belt's the only thing we buy at this time.
Okay. Any other questions for City Marshal?
I just want to make a point, Marshall. You've been there 4.5 years, and that 4.5 years, how many months of those 4.5 years have you been fully staffed?
Well, maybe just for a month. Yeah, yes, sir.
So we've been shorthanded with officers for basically almost 4 years. We never, I mean, I won't say shorthanded, but we have openings.
We do, yes, sir. I'm not sure I know what it would feel like to be full staff, but I'm ready to try it out. I have some guys on hand too that look like they're gonna, we could be full staff very shortly. So I got, matter of fact, I'm 3 down, and the last one that would be available is October 2nd. He graduates from the Sheriff's Academy. I actually recruited him while he's in the academy, young man from Hampshire. So that's where I'm at. Assuming that no one else quits, however, I do have one right now that's trying to go to the Sheriff's Department in the boat unit, so that would put me down at 4.
Wow.
Okay, any other questions for City Marshal? Thank you, Steve. Mayor votes aye, Councilmember Beatty.
Aye.
Councilmember Bourne.
Do we have a motion?
I don't think
Oh,
so.
I'm sorry. We need a
I make a
motion.
motion that we drop the gross wage classification plan to credit a police cadet position.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the approval to amend the City of Grove's wage and classification plan to create a police cadet position. And are there any other questions over that? Mayor votes aye, Councilmember Beatty.
Aye.
Councilmember Bourne. Councilmember Harrier.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Dye.
Aye.
For the approval of the wage and classification plan to create a police cadet position. Item 6C will be consider approval of a citizen participation plan for the GLO, General Land Office Hurricane Harvey Infrastructure Buyout Acquisition Program.
Mayor and council, as council's aware, we're in the process of working with our consultant Waxman and Associates to put together the application. And part of the application is that we update this plan. This plan has requirements for complaints and grievances, and it's just part of the application, but we have to update it and get it approved. So we're asking council to update this plan and approve it so we can make it part of the application.
Mayor, I move we approve the citizen participation plan for the General Land Office Hurricane Harvey Infrastructure Buyout Acquisition Program.
I second.
We have a motion and a second for the approval of the citizen participation plan for GLO acquisition plan. Are there any questions